Thorpe walked through the Senate with her arm held up with a clenched fist like she's some sort of hardcore revolutionary from the early 20th century, clearly forgetting that she was voted in by a mob of skinny, blue-haired, mask-wearing vegan socialists from inner city Melbourne. But this is not a joke. Lydia is dead serious, and so are her supporters. These people hate Australia, and they have no clue about our history. We have more to be proud of than any other nation on earth, and the facts are clear. Australia sought to be the very opposite of an oppressive, racist, colonial state from the beginning. And it stands out in history as perhaps the first nation to do so. Our founding father, Governor Arthur Phillip, declared that, quote, "There can be no slavery in a free land and consequently no slaves." While the merchant fleets of Liverpool were transporting slaves to the Americas, Britain's Caribbean colonies were dependent on slave labour, and slavery was rife in the Raj at the time. Phillip barred slavery in New South Wales 8 months before the leader of the British abolitionist movement, William Wilberforce, first took up the issue in the House of Lords. After Phillip was ordered by King George III to, quote, "endeavour by every possible means to open an intercourse with the natives and to conciliate their affections, enjoining all subjects to live in amity and kindness with them," unquote. He announced that, quote, "any man who takes the life of a native will be put on trial the same as if he'd killed one of the garrison," unquote. And even when speared through the shoulder by an Aboriginal warrior at Manly Cove in September 1790, Phillip refused to retaliate, resulting in the re-establishment of good relations, and with Bennelong coming to Sydney with his wife in November 1790. The point is, well, it's very clear. Australia is not founded on a racist colonial oppression. We have every right to be proud of our history, and we should ignore unhinged career activists like Lydia Thorpe, who celebrate the burning down of old Parliament House by Aboriginal activists back in January, even though it was in old Parliament House where Aboriginals were granted full voting rights in 1962, the Constitution was amended in 1967 to allow the Commonwealth to make laws for Aboriginal people and include them in the census, and, more importantly, where Neville Bonner, the first Aboriginal to become a member of Parliament, worked for over 12 years between 71 and 83. To sum up, this Lydia Thorpe is a joke. We can all do without her theatrical ways, which only seek to divide us, not unite us.